So if I had to describe a typical day or an example of a project that I'm currently working on, a typical day for me involves being able to manage my time as best as possible. I've had the fortune of progressing and climbing the corporate ladder here at ConEd relatively quickly. At a pretty young age, I've been given a lot of responsibility. So what has helped me do that, I'm in control of my calendar and of my time. So a typical day for me, I typically have my calendar is all blacked out in terms of either different meetings or time that I put aside for myself to do work, to get actual work done, because you can't be in meetings for 10 hours. Otherwise you end up not being productive. And I think that's a habit that started when I was in college and managing my time, knowing how much time I needed to give myself for classes, for work, for schoolwork, for friends and personal time. So that's something each of us can start relatively early because it's a skill that translates very well into a professional or adult life. My friends make fun of me because I'm one of those people that always has my calendar booked. I know what I'm doing 2 weeks from now. I know what I'm doing 3 weeks from now. My girlfriend isn't always fond of that, but it's definitely something that you work through as you continue to progress and move forward. A lot of times I'm being called in to help resolve problems and bring solutions to problems, and a lot of times I'm being called to help connect people. So in my role at End User Services, I'm the one-stop shop for all of IT-related services at ConEd. And I actually took that mindset from our own West Quad Center and our Student Services Center at Brooklyn College. So I used to work as a navigator at Brooklyn College Navigator, and when I started working there, we had just opened up the West Quad, and that whole concept of all of student services in one place. Whereas in the past, registrar was in one building, admissions was in another building, financial aid and bursar were somewhere else, and you really needed to kind of scratch and claw in order to find your way through that maze, right? And the same thing with our IT department at ConEd. A lot of people weren't used to leveraging IT and supporting and utilizing technology solutions to get their job done on a day-to-day. And then our pandemic hit, and this also ties into a current project that I'm working on. And now all of a sudden, technology is at the forefront of every major company's needs. And you look at how we're able to support a remote workforce and how we set up support for a remote workforce, whether it be through cloud-based solutions, infrastructure solutions. Do we manage it? Do we contract it out to a different company to manage our technology solutions? How do we make that work? And I'm sure a lot of you are facing some of these challenges with the education industry, in the sense of how do you support full-time remote learning. So one of the projects I'm working on is the implementation of smart vending machines and lockers throughout the ConEdison service territory for our employees. Best comparison, if you ever walk through an airport and you see kind of the Best Buy or Amazon kiosks where you can buy IT peripherals or just entertainment-based peripherals, same concept for employees who need a MiFi, who need a phone, who need a new tablet, new Surface, new laptop, a monitor, a mouse, so on and so forth. Instead of having to go through submitting a request and having to wait, they can pick up their own machine, their own device when they need it. So that's one area, that's one major project that I'm working on, and there's a significant cost savings associated to that. So because again, we don't have to staff physical locations with personnel, if you've got the machines there 24/7.
Make sure to check out the My Career tab on the BC Navigator app, where you can track your career progress based on the amount of credits you've earned, stay updated on upcoming events from the Magner Center, and watch our videos for insight and advice on your career field.